up, BoobTube? So we're back working on the Miata today. I'm actually going to tear apart the dash on the car, take everything out of it that I don't need, try to get it to lose some weight. Since I haven't really decided if I'm going to use the factory NA dash or if I'm just going to build a sheet metal dash. But either way, this is something that I need to have done if I plan on using it or not. So I'm going to disassemble all this and see how much we can lose and show you what all you don't need. So since I'm rewiring the whole car, this really doesn't matter. Alright, so I swapped over to time lapse because I was playing some music that YouTube probably won't like. Got the wiring out. It had a very sketchily installed radio system at some point. Mid-90s era installation stuff. I'm actually going to take apart, you saw me there at the end of the time lapse, take apart the airbag, the passenger airbag. I've got all the nuts out already, and I cut this relief flap that's supposed to break when the airbag deploys. I'm going to try and reuse it so that and run some like tech screws or something through it so that I can have the cover still and just not have the airbag. You have to drill out this pop rivet right here, which is going to be super sketch since it's airbag and so on and so forth. But I'm going to drill that out, see if I can't mount something or use the existing mounts to run some sort of a screw up into the dash or something, or down from the dash or through it. But anyways, still got to get some of the ducting out, since I don't plan on running any ducting in the car or anything at all, because I might I have in my wiring design a defrost blower that I might just take and run some. I might use the existing defrost ducting for the driver's side of the car and have a blower motor that's mounted in it that'll just circulate air across it. That way it won't fog up. But that is further down the road, and once I get everything taken out, I'll figure out what I want to do there. But I'll tell you, the heaviest part of the whole dash so far has been this damn airbag. That thing probably weighs 15-20 pounds. It's ridiculous how much it weighs. But let me go ahead and get the rest of this all squared away, and then we will go and figure out if I'm going to run the ducting or not. Alright, so I've got it completely disassembled to the way that I thought I would like it. It's still pretty heavy, so I might end up taking all of the internal framing out and just use the when I install the roll cage in the car, use the cage crossbar as the support for all of the interior. But that's neither here nor there. So this is pretty much where I'm going to leave it for now. You can see that's a whole bunch of ducting and stuff. So I think I'm going to stick the driver's side duct back in just so that I have it in case I end up using this dash. Everything else will probably go in the trash, along with that crazy airbag system that I really don't want to mess with. I still have to figure out a way to mount the passenger pad. The bottom I can run screws through that rubber piece and it'll hold it, but the top, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. I might do a thin piece of aluminum that runs between the two and run a pop rivet and just have it be kind of ugly, because this is all going to get flocked if I do use this dash. So with that, I'm going to stop this portion of the video and I'm going to go work on the transmission tunnel cover, because I still haven't done that yet. It needs to be done, and I've just been kind of putting it off because, you know, I've been working on other things like the race car and so on and so forth. So I actually have to go get brake fluid for that thing, because the brake fluid's at the shop with the trailer, and I had a brake caliper leak, or I found that a brake caliper was leaking, and I disassembled it and found that there was some crap in the seal. It looked like some little pieces of aluminum or something, so I cleaned the seals up, slapped it back together, and I actually haven't even checked this morning to see if it's still leaking or not, which I'd be surprised if it is, since it's got so much air in it that it won't show up. So it looks like it's still leaking, which is disappointing. So there is still a spot, a drip, but that could be leaking from the line, or it could be leftover dripping down, because it leaked quite a bit, and then, you know, I don't know. Anyways, it's a small enough leak that whenever the system gets up to temperature and everything swells, you don't have a problem. But I think it's just been sitting for so long that it's had an issue. I think I've either rebuilt this one before, or I've rebuilt the other side before, and it might just be time to replace the whole caliper itself, since we're having leaks, which I don't think you can see in the video, but there's a drip there. So I'm gonna run to Walmart, pick up some .4, and come back and bleed these brakes, and then start working on this hunk of junk over here. So I gotta get all the interior bits out, or the body panel bits out, so I can climb in the car and reach that. And instead of drawing, I'm just gonna have to cut pieces up and tape them together and do it the right way. I was trying to draw it out and do it, and that just wasn't working. So all right, I'll be back. Alright. Ooh, good song. Gotta turn it down now. So you saw me working on the cover for the transmission tunnel. I've also worked on the dash a little bit more. I got the defrost vent back up in there. It's just one tube in the back. And then I've also test fitted the tombstone and my broken cover, which I'm gonna use some plastic glue to get it back together. And I will probably, to hide the fact that every single clip on this thing is broken, I might go get some fiberglass gel, since the dash is going to be flocked, and I will actually fiberglass in this crease right here. That way it's all smooth, and I can fiberglass the cracks and stuff up so that you can't see them, and then come back across with black and flock it. So it should look amazing by the time I get done with it. Look like a professional race car dash, but that's later on. So let's come back over here to this. You can see that it is pretty well set up. I've made some indications to myself to extend some stuff that's been cut out, so that I can bang on it and kind of cover the holes that are right here where the transmission tunnel bends over, so that I don't have to just fill this in with fire retardant caulk. So a lot of the stuff, whenever you do this kind of stuff, you have to make sure that it's fire resistant, especially since I'm dealing with the firewall. So a lot of it is going to be pop riveted or sheet metal screwed or whatever. I'll probably do riv nuts. That way it's removable and I have access to stuff there. But a lot of it has to be fireproof. So any hole that's in the firewall existing, if it's over, I think, the size of like a quarter, it might even be smaller than that, you have to patch it. And by patch, I mean you actually have to put a piece of metal over it. So these two right here will eventually end up with a aluminum plate over it so that you can't see them. So any of the holes that are like that will end up like that. That hole will probably be, this one that's over in the far corner, will probably be the one where I go in and out for all of my ECU stuff and everything else, so that it's away from the driver compartment, but at the same time I really haven't sat down and thought about it because all of the heat is going to be on this side of the car. So I might end up moving a lot of the wiring and everything to go through this hole. That way I'm dodging the exhaust. I also haven't decided how I'm going to do the exhaust. I might cut through the floor here and run it in the floor. That way I can get the car as low as possible. But that is a big undertaking, and you have a whole another range of things that you have to deal with. So I'm going to go lay this out and trace it on a sheet of aluminum and cut it out and fold it up and see how it fits. And when we come back, we'll be looking at the finished piece of aluminum. Alright, it's been another day and I haven't finished what I was working on yet because I was working on the race car for our test day coming up. So I'm going to give you a peek at what I've got so far. I think it's in the car. There it is. So it's pretty well made. It just needs to be riveted up there and riv nutted up there and painted and seam sealed, and it'll be good to go. It's not perfect, but I wasn't expecting it to be because it'll be hidden behind the dash. So as long as it's covers the hole, that's all I really care about. So I'm just gonna end it off here for this video. Just wanted to do this, that way I had something to upload today. But be expecting lots of things from this weekend. I actually am gonna try and live stream it since YouTube's gonna let me. Yeah, pretty much we're gonna unload the car on Saturday, and I am just going to hit the play button once we get ready to go out for our first session, and just let it run all day, so you can see all the behind the scenes action and everything else that will probably go on. So until next time, guys. Deuces, happy brapping, whatever this video is supposed to be, I can't remember. It's been a few days.